All right, welcome back to another game of Play Action Football Express. My name is Brian Happerkamp, and in this video, we're going to do a recap of the 2044 WCFL season. We're going to run through the off-season. We're going to prepare ourselves for the 2045 season, and then we're going to run through the 2045 season. So this should be the full gamut of the fictional league, not creation, but the career management part of the league. So let's walk through the 2044 season. So these are our teams. The WCFL is the West Coast Football League. So we have San Diego, and this is in order of how they finished. San Diego finished 8-2. Las Vegas 7-3. Portland 6-4. Seattle, the Mongers, were 4-6. San Francisco Miners 3-7, and then the Los Angeles Wave 2-8. Severely hurt, if you've been keeping up, severely hurt by the restructuring of the league back prior to the 2043 season. So Las Vegas won the championship in 2043, the first year after the restructuring. They beat San Francisco 24-20 in the 2043 championship game. The championship game for 2044 was Las Vegas at San Diego, and Vegas comes out with a 33-14 win. It was a beatdown with two Vegas touchdowns in the first half, and then Vegas went off in the second half with 3 field goals, and a touchdown in the second half. And defense played well, just a lot of punts for San Diego, who had a +1 on offense, just couldn't get things going, but Las Vegas a +2 on offense. In fact, they had an injury, which is pretty rare. They had an injury in the first half, so it was one of their offensive injury. So they took a -1 to their offense for the rest of the half. They still managed to put up 17 points. That happened on the very first drive of the game. So even with an offensive injury in the first half, they took care of business. They just kept rolling super high numbers. So their efficiency and effectiveness and their game plan, everything was working in the championship game. So they take home the first 2 championships in the post-structuring period. And the league is sort of building its way back up from that. We went to an individual based in 2043. We've moved away from that. We're going back to the just simply the team-based ratings and the original system of doing that. The individual ratings are not bad. Just me personally, it's a little bit too detailed for a career sim. I want things to happen. I want seasons to happen more quickly. So that's just my own personal thing. If you wanted to run individuals, definitely feel free to do that. And I'll be including some of those individual sheets and rules and things like that eventually into the game. But you can simply roll up individual players and have those players affect the seasons and the teams. All right, so what we need to do is we need to go into the off season. We have our teams. This out of the way. And our off-season sheet looks like this. You can see it very well, but this chart here is the off-season chart. So basically we have a 2-12. We have what kind of change happens on the offense and defense, and then just a few notes here, like you can't go above 0 for the defense. You can't go below 3 for defense, stuff like that. You can't go above 3 on offense or below 0. Because all the ratings are from 0 to +3 on offense or 0 to -3 on defense. If anyone wants to make a coaching change or a place kicker change, they can use credits for that. I've got their credits outlined here, so we'll just go through each team. San Diego, Las Vegas, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, LA will be our order, and we have some D6 dice here, just handy. And we're going to roll our 2 D6s. San Diego is going to get the first crack at things. Put them here. They're a 2 on offense and a 0 on defense. Let's see if they make any changes or any changes happen to them in the offseason of 12. Their offense takes a -2 hit. So you can see here, offense -2. Hopefully you can see that. Can you see that right there? Offense -2. So that is a huge change for San Diego, who now stands at a 0-0. Oh, wow. 0-0. So something happened in the offseason. They're going to buy a credit. They have 8 credits. So they're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4 of those credits, and they're going to re-roll. So let's see what happens. An 8. Roll again. All right. A 3 is offense +2. So their re-roll wipes out the previous, and that gives them a 3 on offense and a 0. So you can only have one change. So we had them go down the first time to that. We took another credit. We took 4 credits and we rolled again, which is the prerogative of any team. They can use their credits to re-roll. So a 3 means offense +2. 3 is the max. So they're going to go up to a 3 on offense and a 0 on defense. They don't need a new kicker, so I think San Diego is good to go. They go into the new season with the best offense possible and no defense. So that's where they stand. Las Vegas. Vegas at midseason had a +2 and a -1. Their original was a 1 and -1, so they actually got a little bit of offensive help in the midseason. They get a 3. Their 3 is +2. And that's a +2 on offense. Now this is the midseason, so that only lasts for the rest of the season. So we're looking at our base here, 1 and -1. So offense +2 means they're a 3 and -1, which makes them the odds-on favorite yet again. 3 and -1, as the rich are getting richer in the league. For Portland, they're a 0 and -1. I don't think Vegas needs a new kicker or anything. No, the kicker's fine. Head coach is fine. They're our only pass-heavy team. A 7 for Portland means no change. They're going to use, they have 6 credits because of 6 wins. They're going to use their credits to see if they can elicit some sort of change. A 3, another 3. 3s are wild in this one. Offense +2. So Portland goes to a 2 on offense, -1 on defense. And that might even put them ahead of San Diego a little bit. So Portland's going to stand pat. They used 4 credits. They have 2 left. All they could do is replace their kicker, which I think they're going to try to do. They have one of the worst kickers. And let's go ahead and see about their place kicker. A 100 and a 75. Right now, they're at a 90 and a 70, so that is an upgrade. They sign a new kicker. And so Portland gets a little bit, well, quite a bit better in the offseason. Seattle. They were 4 and 6. They have a 1 offense and a 0 defense. Now, each of the teams that has a losing record, which is Seattle, San Francisco, LA, they get 2. They get 1 roll off the offseason chart, and then they get 1 free re-roll if they want it. We get a 5. 5 is offense +1. That would make them a 2 and a 0. I think they're going to stick with that. 2 and a 0. They could use a new kicker as well, so they'll roll for a new kicker. A 4, a 100, and an 80. That will be better than their 95-75. So they upgrade at the kicker position as well. So good offseason for Seattle as they move to a 2 on offense, 0 on defense. San Francisco, 0 on offense, -1 on defense. Let's see if they can get a little bit better. They are just going to get the regular re-rolls. Offense will be a +1. That makes them a 1 -1. I think they'll be happy with that. They're going to re-roll for a new kicker as well. 1 -1 will make you competitive. New kicker. A 5 is a 95-85, which actually is better than what they have. So they've upgraded at the kicker position. And finally, Los Angeles at 0-0. Let's see if they can get any better through the offseason rolls. A 6, roll again. 7, no change. And so they're going to get a free re-roll because they had a losing record. And a 10 means their defense gets a +1. That means their defense gets worse, which 0 is the minimum we see. That's what they have. And LA stuck again. So they're going to be stuck in neutral with the 0-0. Their kicker is decent, a 180. There's only one kicker better than that. No sense chasing perfection because you might wind up with a worse kicker. So that's where LA is. And maybe another losing season, they'll just change their coach. I'm not sure. So we have San Diego, a 3 on offense, 0 on defense. Las Vegas, a 3 on offense, -1 on defense. Portland, 2 on offense, -1 on defense. Seattle, 2 on offense, 0 on defense. San Francisco moves up to a 1 on offense and -1 on defense. And Los Angeles holds pat with a 0 and 0 as they look to be in the doghouse again. They did beat Las Vegas at the end of the season. So maybe there were a bunch of backups in there for Vegas. I don't know. All right, let me put you on hold. We'll get this all set up for a new season. All right. And we have our cards all made out. This will be for the 2045 season. San Diego, a 3 on offense, 0 on defense. Vegas, a 3 on offense, -1 on defense. Portland, a 2 on offense, -1 on defense. Seattle, 2 and 0. San Francisco moves up to a 1 and -1, and LA 0 and 0. So we'll see how this season plays out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sim through the whole season, and I will play the championship game using the drive-by-drive game. So let me switch over here to our application, which you can see here. I think you'll be able to see. Yeah. So switch over to our application. You can see that it's on GitHub, myname.github.io//play action football app. And what it'll do whenever you open that is it'll give you the choice here. So the dice roller is just an online dice roller that gives you the dice rolls to play the actual game. But you can also use the game simulator here. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to simulate all these games. So if you want to fast forward, you can. If you don't, you can see and just see how the season plays out and how it all works. So the first game is going to be Seattle at Las Vegas. And Seattle at Las Vegas will be 2 and 0. 2 and 0 against 3 and -1. This should be a good one. We'll see. Oh, it is 17-13. Vegas comes out with the win as Las Vegas moves to 1-0. Portland at LA is 2 -1 at 0-0. 37-3 for Portland with a beatdown of the lowly Los Angeles Wave. San Francisco at San Diego is going to be 1 -1 against 3 and 0. All right, so we got a tie ball game as San Francisco comes back with 10. They scored all 24 in the second half. And This is the overtime frame here, so we're going to sim overtime in San Francisco. You can see here, these are the overtime frames, 13, 14, 15. So both teams, neither team scored on their first drive. San Francisco scores on the second drive. It's all sudden death. So San Francisco with a sneaky win in San Diego, and that's a good one for them. So after week one, it's Las Vegas, Portland, and San Francisco with one win. And we've moved to week number 2. Portland at Las Vegas, 2-1 at 3-1. 45-16 Las Vegas. San Francisco at Seattle will be 1-1 at 2-0. Should be a good game. 41-24 Seattle. So offense wins the day there. San Diego at LA, 3-0 at 0-0. 63-23. Youch. That's San Diego offense. Ripping. So San Diego now 1-1. Seattle 1-1. Las Vegas 2-0. And everybody else, LA is 0-2. Everybody else 1-1. Right. Week number 3, San Francisco at Las Vegas, 1-1. 1-1. Vegas is a 3-1. So a little bit of defense there. Oh, that's a shock. 17-10 on the road. San Francisco takes care of Las Vegas. Wow. San Diego at Portland. That's why they play the games. 3-0. You can see nobody scored in the fourth quarter. They had Vegas down 14-0. 17. At 17, maybe 17-0 at one point. Yeah, it was 17-0 at one point. And Vegas came back with 10, but got blanked in the fourth. So San Diego at Portland is a 3-0. Portland is a 2-1. 45-37. San Diego gets the victory. And finally, LA was a 0-0 at Seattle. Seattle is a 2-0. 51-45. So Seattle in a shootout picks up the victory. That is their second win. They're now 2-1. Week number 4, San Diego at Las Vegas, 3-0 at a 3-1. So this is really your top 2 teams. Ooh, 48-20 San Diego. Their offense is just illustrious. LA at San Francisco. And San Fran is a 1-1. 44-35 to the Miners. Over the Wave. The Wave are still tumbling. Seattle at Portland. So 2-0 at Portland, who is a 2-1. 42-23, Seattle wins. And once we get through week 5 here, we'll do our midseason roll. We'll do a checkup on the standings. So LA at Vegas, 0-0 at 3-1. 38-17, Vegas with a pedestrian win at home against LA. Seattle at San Diego, 2-0. San Diego a 3-0. Offensive game here. It was 42-31. San Diego with the victory. They were out 28-14 in the first half. So lots of points scored, lots of TDs. And finally, Portland at San Francisco, 2-1 versus a 1-1. Oh, A bit of a surprise there, as San Francisco with a big win, 34-10 at home. All right, so let's look at our standings. I think that Vegas is probably up near the lead, so let's start with them. 1, 2. Vegas with 3 wins. So they go 3-2. San Diego is probably next. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. So 4-1. Let's see. Seattle. Let's say Seattle. Seattle has 1, 2, 3 wins. Portland with only one win, 1-4. San Francisco wins 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 4-1. And LA, let's see if they had any wins. LA is 0-5. So tough year, as it's San Diego and San Francisco 4-1. Las Vegas and Seattle are 3-2. Portland is 1-4. LA is 0-5. All right, so let's do a little switch over here, and hopefully that's not too crappy of a picture. What we'll do is at the midseason, so after week number 5, we have this midseason action here. So let's walk through our midseason actions. We basically roll a 2 to 12 for each team, just one roll. Whatever effect has here carries through the rest of the season. And then at the end of the season, we'll continue the off season, but the off season will be based off of their normal whatever they started the season with. So LA's last. So let's do San Diego first. So just a regular old 2 to 12 roll, and we'll see what happens with San Diego. 7, no change. So they stay the same. Las Vegas. Oh, I got the wrong cards. That's last season. So Las Vegas, we'll just leave those there. A 3. Kicker retires mid-season. Roll for a new kicker. Now they have a 180 kicker, which is really good. So what we need to do, let's look at the back of this sheet. So I have this right here with all of the off-season. So they have to get a new kicker. It's a 6, a 175. So their kicker goes down just a little bit. So 75, 65, 55, 80, 85. So they lose a little bit on their kicker as their kicker retires. And in the offseason, they can roll for a new kicker if they want to, or they keep that one if they're happy. All right, next, Portland. A 4. If they have a losing record, mid-season trade loses a free safety, defense +1. Portland does not have a losing record. They are at, they do have a losing record, 1-4. So a mid-season trade, they lose their free safety. So their defense is going to be a 0. So they go from a 2-1 to a 2-0. So things changed a little bit as the owner gave up and traded away their best free safety. Next up, Seattle, 5. Key defensive backup performs well. And so Seattle is going to go from a 2-0 to a 2-1. That might help them along the way. They are at 3-2, so that might be the boost that they need. San Francisco, a 1-1. They get a 4. If they have a losing record, midseason trade loses their free safety. So San Francisco does not have a losing record, so they will not change. And finally, Los Angeles, a 4. If they have a losing record, midseason trade loses their free safety. It doesn't make them any worse. They're already a 0. So that is your midseason. So at the midseason, We have Seattle improving to a 2 and -1. Portland not improving, getting worse, 2 and a 0. So those two flip-flop places. We get a new kicker in Las Vegas, and those are your mid-season shakeups. Let's put this here. All right. 2045. Let's get to the second half, and we'll move back over to our chart here. Las Vegas at Seattle. That's going to, why do I have dice? I need dice. 3 -1 for Vegas. And Seattle now is a 2 and -1. So this game got a lot more interesting and a lot closer. 17-10. Vegas wins, but that was a close one at home against Seattle. LA versus Portland. LA still a 0-0. Portland now a 2 and 0. As Portland with enough offense to beat Los Angeles 27-17. San Diego at San Francisco will round out week number 6. San Diego a 3 and 0. San Francisco a 1 -1. 34-27. That was also a close one, as it took a touchdown on the final drive for San Diego to put this one away. 34-27. San Diego now improves to 5 and 1. Vegas at Portland. So a 3 -1 at a 2 and 0. 14 points in the final quarter, as Las Vegas comes from behind 42-41 and nips Portland at the end, as Vegas continues to keep pace. They're now at 5 and 2. Seattle at San Francisco. Seattle 2 and -1. San Fran a 1 and -1. Should be a good game. 21-17 it is, but Seattle comes out on top. And Seattle with the win. They're now 4 and 3 after 7 weeks. LA at San Diego. 0-0 against 3 and 0. And that San Diego offense continues to roll. 42-21 against LA. San Diego now at 6 and 1. Las Vegas is at 4 and 3. And Seattle is 5 and 2 in second place. So Vegas against San Francisco, 3 -1. San Francisco at home, they're a 1 -1. 34-10. That's a waxing from the Miners. Of the Miners. The Gamblers wipe out the Miners 34-10. Portland at San Diego. Portland is a 2 and a 0. San Diego is a 3 and a 0. Wow. They scored a touchdown on almost every single play. 77-44. As they win. Going away. This one was over in the third period, as San Diego goes on a run and puts away Portland in a college basketball score. Oh, wow. Where did the defense go? 42 points in the first quarter, 63 in the first 3 quarters. All right. So I've never seen a score like that before. So LA against Seattle. That's what happens when you have no defense. Seattle at LA. Seattle 2 -1. LA a 0-0. 31-17. A little more traditional score there, as Seattle whips up on Los Angeles. 2 weeks left. Week 9, week 10. Vegas at San Diego. Class of the league here. Vegas 3 and 1. San Diego 3 and 0. 65-48 in another basketball score. Both teams leaving their defense at home. Las Vegas comes out on top, as they score 34 points in the first half, 21 in the final frame. It is San Francisco at LA. San Fran is going to be a 1 -1, and LA is a 0-0. So the Miners 27-10 in week 9 over LA. And finally, Portland 2-0 at Seattle, who is a 2 -1. 45-17, big win for Seattle over the Portland Scouts. Final game of the season, Las Vegas at LA. This should be not close, as LA with a 0-0. They are at home, but surprise much? All right, so, and Vegas had to score on their final drive in order to make this happen. So we got an overtime game between one of the league's best and one of the league's worst. And let's see, can LA pull out the victory? They cannot, as they give a touchdown on their first drive in overtime, 31-24. As LA goes down, they almost beat Las Vegas in the final, or they did beat Vegas in the final game of last season as well. San Diego, Seattle. Because they figure they don't have anything left to play for. Coach pulls out all the stops. San Diego, Seattle, 2 -1. This is a good matchup here between two of the top teams. 38-34. That one was close. San Diego pulls it out. And San Francisco at Portland is a 1 -1 at a 2-0. As Portland lost a little bit on their defense at midseason. 45-14, though. Didn't lose anything on their offense. So 45-14 as they put a whooping on San Francisco. Let's see how things turn out. I see a lot of Vegas wins, a lot of San Diego wins, a lot of Seattle wins. So let's check this out. Let's say San Diego first. They were 4-1. 1, 2, 3, 4. They go 4-1 in the second half as they lose to Vegas. So they're going to wind up 8-2. Las Vegas, they win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in the second half to also finish 8-2. Seattle, they had 3 wins, and they're going to win 1, 2, 3. So they are 6-4. Portland, well, they were 1-4. 2 wins. So that makes them 3-7. San Francisco, they had 4 wins. They're going to win 1 game in the second half. So they're going to wind up a very disappointing 5-5. They start 4-1, they finish 1-4. And that is not what their ownership group was hoping for. 0-5, Los Angeles did not win. They go 0-10, and it is rough in Los Angeles. Where are they going to improve? How are they going to improve? Are they going to improve? Those are all good questions for the offseason. That picture, speaking of looking rough, hold on. All right, so let's check out who's going to be in our championship game. We'll play out the championship game with our basic drive-by-drive charts. We have San Diego and Las Vegas, both 8-2. Let's go to the head-to-head matchup to see who is the home team. Doesn't make a lot of sense, or it doesn't make any difference, really. But let's look at that. They play in week 4 and week 9. So San Diego with 1 win, Vegas with 1 win. Let's go to the points scored. 85 for Vegas and 96 for San Diego. So we'll call this, in the championship, we'll call it Las Vegas at San Diego. This was the same championship game that we had last year. 33-14 was the score as Vegas beat San Diego. And they're sort of on the same trajectory as San Diego with a 3-0, Vegas with a 2-1 on their ratings. So let's go ahead and get that all set up. We have our basic charts here. That out of the way. Put that there. And let's go with the 2045. 2045 WCFL Championship. So Las Vegas at San Diego. Vegas is a 3-1, so that makes them a +3 on offense. Wow. And San Diego is a 3-0, so on offense they're going to be a +2. Should be a high scoring affair. We'll see. Five, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And let's get our dice. So we have those dice and those dice, and we are going to keep track of our plays there. All right, so let's get this over just a little bit. You can see it, see this a little better. All right, so we're all set up for the game. Let's find out who is going to take the first drive. Black dice is for the home team, a 10 to an 8. So San Diego is going to elect to take the ball first. That means they're going to get the final drive. So that's what they're going to do. And they'll take the ball first. All right. Kickoff in this one. Is there a run back for a TD? Almost a 5. You need a 2 for a touchdown on a kick return. All right. First play, first drive. San Diego 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 is going to be a sack on third down. Leads to a long field goal attempt. 1-6 is good. It's good. So field goal for San Diego as they take a 3-0 lead. On the ensuing kickoff, is there a kick return for a touchdown? There is not. Las Vegas with their first drive of the game. An 8 is nothing. 11 plus 3 is 14. 14 quarterback hurried on third and long. What will happen on the play? A 9, 5 to 10 quarterback sack. Team settles for a short field goal. So we are knotted up at 3 after each team's first drive. San Diego with the kick return, no touchdown. San Diego on their drive, a 15 is nothing. A 14 plus 2 is 16. That's a sustained 14 play clock chewing drive that ends with a touchdown run. And that will be 6 points plus the extra point is good. And 10-3 is our score. Skip the next drive for the opponent. So we're going to skip Las Vegas and go right back to San Diego. Next drive for San Diego starting the second quarter. 14 plus 2 is 16. Another long clock chewing drive that ends in a touchdown run as they are just hammering the Las Vegas defense. They put up another 7. And we have to skip the Las Vegas drive the next time. So Vegas really facing a short clock here as San Diego continues to drive the ball down the field. 10 is nothing. A 4 plus 2 is 6. Drive stalls at their own 45. We're going to get a punt. And Vegas finally with an opportunity here. They've had they scored on the one chance that they had. We'll see if they can score here. 14, that's nothing. 18 becomes a 20, and that is a long TD pass. That's a play action bomb, and that will get them very close. So 6 plus 1, they score 7. It's now 14 I'm sorry, 17-7 at the half. And Las Vegas is going to get the ball to start the second half. Kick return for a touchdown does not happen. And they have a drive. A 14 plus 3 is 17. That's going to be a zone read run. Breaks loose, and that's going to be a touchdown run as they get all the way back into this one. In fact, they're going to take the lead on this touchdown. Nope, they're tied up. 17-17. The kick return for a touchdown is not there. And San Diego, with their first drive of the second half, they come out with their marching orders. 15 is nothing. 14 plus 2 is 16. Another long clock chewing drive as they get a TD run. And we'll see if they get the extra point. They do. A 6 is good. So here in the second half, each team scores on their first drive. It's now 24-17. There's no run back for a TD. Vegas on the drive. 20 is a defensive injury, +1 to the opponent drives for the rest of the half. So the defense is San Diego. So Las Vegas, +1 for the half. And we'll give them that +1 on this drive. That was a 20. So we get a 7 plus 4 is 11. 9-play drive reaches the edge of field goal range. They get a long field goal. And you can see that that +4 is going to be huge for Las Vegas as they get, oh, sorry, that should be here. As they get a field goal, it's now 24-20. San Diego over Las Vegas. San Diego looking to avenge their loss from the previous season. This is a rematch. San Diego on the ensuing kickoff, no touchdown. San Diego's got to put points on the board to keep up with that +4. A 5 is an offensive penalty. So the defense can take the penalty and force a punt or decline and take the result. We have an 8 plus 2 is a 10. Blitz. Offense stopped on third down. That's a punt. We're going to take that. Las Vegas with the ball and a +4 to their roll. 9 is nothing. 17 plus 4. You can't go better than 20. That's another play action pass, a long touchdown pass. And a 9 plus 1. So we get 7 here in the fourth. San Diego will take the ball. It is all tied up. Is that right? 27-24 Las Vegas. That defensive injury has been a key here in the second half. San Diego with the ball. They got to drive the field. 7 is nothing. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 sack on third down. Sets up a long field goal attempt. A 10 is going to be a field goal miss. And a 1 is a field goal block return for a touchdown. So we get a field goal miss. And for Las Vegas, field goal, it's a block. Field goal block for TD. And that's good for 7 points. San Diego, one final opportunity. It is 34-24. They're not going to be able to do much here, but let's see. Kickoff return, no touchdown. A 17 defensive penalty. So the offense, so free play to the offense. 7 plus 2 is 9. That leads to a punt, but the offense is going to take the penalty and roll again. So key defensive penalty keeps the drive alive. A 4 is nothing. 13 plus 2 is 15. Quick tempo drive, TD pass on a seam route. So a touchdown pass gets them close enough. We're going to let them do the onside kick. That is 6 plus 1, so that's a 7. And we have 34-31. This is a shootout that we thought was going to happen. Let's do the onside kick. 2-7, the kicking team is going to get it. We're going to give them one final drive if that happens. It's a 12, and a 12 is going to go to the receiving team, and this game is over. So the final here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 28 plus 6 is 34. And 28 plus 3 is 31. So 34-31, San Diego cannot avenge their loss. They had a key injury here in the second half and gave up points to Las Vegas. This field goal block for a touchdown was massive, as you can do the field goal block optional down here. So if there's a field goal miss, you see if there's a block. It can be a block with no TD. It can be a block for a touchdown, or it can be no block, 2-9. And they happened to roll a 1. It was a field goal block for a touchdown. So key, huge defensive play. Not what we were expecting with 2-3 rated offenses, as both teams with definitely plus offenses, as they put on a show. 34-31. So Las Vegas is going to win their second championship, as they go, what were they? They were both teams 8-2 in the regular season, so evenly matched. And the Las Vegas Gamblers come out with their throwing offense and put away San Diego. All right, so that is a full season. We're about 45 minutes. You've done the off season. You've done a new season full of just watching me just do all of the what do you call it? The game simulation. So going through simming an entire season. This is 6 teams, so every team plays each other twice. There are 10 games. There are 10 games in the season for each team, and so a pretty good football season, abbreviated, but still pretty good for a small league. And you get a sense of the teams, and they get to kind of whip up on each other. There's a little bit of change. You saw the midseason roll, which we do after week number 5, and that midseason roll is just something that I did. You could make up your own if you wanted to. It's just like a little, do teams change? There's a key offensive rookie steps up. There's a rash of injuries hits the defense, makes your defense terrible. Midseason trade adds to your defense. Midseason trade subtracts from your defense. The head coach, you have to roll for a new head coach or a new kicker. Your starting QB is out for the season, so your offense takes a hit. So there's lots of different little things that could happen sort of in season. I wanted that to be a little bit of a chaos roll that happens that could shake up the power structures. Let's say San Diego lost their quarterback. All of a sudden they're down to a 1-0, which is different than a 3-0. So you got it there, and then playing out the championship game with the basic chart. We could have played with the advanced chart. The advanced chart gives you a little bit more options to make choices and stuff like that. But the basic chart is quicker and can move through a game very quickly. You could play the whole season like this. You can do simulate some games that you don't want to play, have a game of the week sort of thing where you play out one game each week, however you want to do it. Yeah, this game is called Play Action Football Express. Play Action Football Express can be purchased at clarkandaddisongaming.com. And the fictional set, which is what you're seeing here, it's not a set. It's just a set of rules, basically. And your team creation and your career module all rest here on this sheet of paper. I also included these blanks. So you get a sheet like this. It's full of blanks. These are the team card blanks, the same cards that I use for the NFL teams. But you can see there's a few blanks here down at the bottom that weren't filled in. But basically, I just go in and fill them in. You can do them up real nice, where you have go to a PDF editor and put in, type in the names and put colors and logos and whatever you want to do. You can put that onto your cards if you want to. And then once you have that PDF, you could simply just print out those blank PDFs and fill them in, or each season you can just go through and type in everybody's stuff real nice. However you want to do that, I've seen other gamers who go through and they do that with the cards, so that's a nice thing. This was just I went to ChatGPT, asked it to do a double round robin with 6 teams. I gave the team names. It created a schedule for me. I said I want to play everybody twice, and so it created a schedule. So basically, I just took that schedule, put it into a tabular form, and then just doubled that. That way, I can have 2 seasons on a sheet of paper. This is the 2043 and the 2044 seasons, so I can kind of have those together. I just keep track of what their first and second half stats are. What's the final score there, the final game. I had a pen. There it is. So this is Vegas 34-31 in the championship game. And, you know, it's just a way of just kind of keeping up with the season after season. I also keep track of the season cards like this. So whenever I finish up a season like this one, I'll just put all of their, this is not the right one. That's previous season. So I'll just go through and I'll put their final numbers here. So they were 8-2. They were 8-2. Portland 3-7. Seattle 6-4. San Francisco 5-5. And then Los Angeles 0-10. So I just keep up with that. I'll cut these out, and then I just kind of am keeping those. Anytime I ever want to go back and replay a season, I could simply go back and replay a season. I would have all of these cards available to replay the season if I wanted to, or mix and match like greatest teams of the 2040s. I could do something like that. So I have those teams available. These are fictional, completely made up, and just created some supporting documentation for that. All right. The Express game also comes with the fast action cards, and the fast action cards have this chart here that you use for kicking and penalties and onside and fumble recoveries and stuff like that. There's a whole defensive section to the FACs as well. And for these teams, if you want to play with the FAC teams, you can use it with the fictional as well. But you have a base defense, you have their rushing and passing numbers. So this determines whether they use the run heavy, pass heavy, or balance deck for the fast action cards. And then you have all their kicking, which would come into effect based off of how far they're kicking the ball. Like what is the range of the field goal. So that becomes more important when you're using the FACs or when you're playing the full play action football game. Not as important when you're doing just the drive-by-drive game. So in the off-season, you can roll, well, at the beginning, you're going to roll team creation, gives you your offense and defense number. You're going to roll for a coach and a base defense and a place kicker. So during the offseason, if you want to play with those things and you want to play with the FAC cards, then more the coaching and place kicking kind of comes into play. If you play with the defense here, then the defensive formation really comes into play. So let's say you want to try to gain an advantage. You got a lot of run-heavy teams. You want to run a 4-3 or a 4-6. So you want to try to get that 4-3 defense. You roll for a new coach, get off the 3-4 and get onto the 4-3, and then that'll be a -1 to the offensive team every time that you come up against that run-heavy offense. So that would help to create that sort of strategic advantage. So that's what that's about. Right, and you can pick this up at clarkandaddisongaming.com. Each of the Fast Action Express seasons are $10. There are 2 NFL seasons that come. You can purchase one or the other, or both if you wanted to, but 1983 NFL and 1976 NFL. You can purchase one or both of those. If you purchase both, The only difference is going to be the NFL season that comes with it. So just so you know, the FACs, it's not like you get one for the 80s and one for the 70s. So it doesn't work like that. The FAC decks are the same. So if you just want the FAC decks, you only need to buy one. You don't need to buy both of them. If you want the seasons that come with it, then you would need to buy both, because you can't just purchase the seasons by themselves. If you do purchase an express season, then you can get 20% off of the quote unquote regular or full play action football season. So play action football is an actual large scale game with lots of different stuff. It's got head to head cards, and it's got a much more robust this is sort of an express version of what you do on a play-by-play basis in play action football, but that's kind of an abbreviated version for the express game. But there's a more robust play calling system. There's a more robust head-to-head system. There's a more robust gameplay system with momentum cards, and that you can include weather. There's coaches challenges. There's much more extensive dice roll based chart that you use for the two teams. They have bigger cards with all of the starting offense and defensive players. They have all the key players for interceptions, sacks, so you can keep track of all the individual stats. It's just a more robust version. The Express version is a quicker playing version, typically using the fast action cards, but I also include this drive-by-drive, these drive-by-drive charts that you can use with the game. So you have the ability to simulate games, use the drive-by-drive charts, use the FACs, or play out the entire game using the dice. And you can even play these fictional teams using the full play game. Or we've seen the simulation, you can use the FACs, whatever you want to do, drive-by-drive. So these teams can be used with they can be used with any part of the play action football full play game. The only thing you don't have are players, but you can always roll up new players if you want to. And we'll probably have something for that. That's this module here for generating players that you can assign to your teams as well. This is the advanced chart, which you can see just has more options here. So quarterback hurried on 3rd and long, roll for the play result, that's the same. But we have pass deep or short, so you kind of get a choose your own adventure style thing here. You get yardage, which is included, so a long TD pass, and you'll roll to see what the yardage was on that, so you can actually get some yardages as well. So that player generation, I think I'm going to add to the Express game, so that'll be available as a download. If you've already purchased the Express game, you'll be able to just go back to your download, your original download, and I'll email out everybody, let them know it's available. You can go to the link and download it for free, and then add players to your league if you want to. I'll probably also include blanks of the larger team cards that you can use. That way you can fill in all the starting players and stuff like that. So you'll have those at your disposal. All right. We're going to end it there. So that is the 2045 season. It ends with a 34-31 victory. Las Vegas over San Diego as they come from behind and put up 24 points in the second half to just 14 for San Diego as Las Vegas, the champions for the second year in a row. All right. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, click on subscribe. You'll be notified of new videos when they are posted. And I think I can post this back on YouTube. I'm going to try. So I'm out of YouTube jail, I believe. We'll see. And if this gets posted to Facebook only, then you'll know. I still can't upload. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.